The other day we glued this little tabletop up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to level it with a hand plane. That's all I plan to do today. Yeah, because flipping cold. It really is. So we're going to be using the number 4 smoothing plane. And I'll make some videos about that today. And the difference between these two planes. Now, this plane here has been sharpened perpendicular, so the plane iron is true from one edge to the next. And this plane over here is sharpened with a slight curve in the plane iron. Now, this one here, I'll kind of convert this into a scrub plane. We won't be using that because I haven't got to take that much material off. My phone, the other phone's making loads of noises. Don't know why, but anyway. This is about 8-9 inch radius on that. It's got a curve on the edge of that one there, which goes into this old rapier hand plane. We're not going to be using that because we don't need to take that much material off. If I was putting together like sawn boards or level off something that's really quite, how to put it, lumpy, well then quite frankly I'd use this scrub plane. And what makes it scrub plane is obviously the plane iron it's got a curve on it, a considerable curve, and that I've actually opened the mouth up on the actual hand plane itself. So although it is a 5.5. Oh, just a second. There's somebody at the door. 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 Oh, who we got in here? Oh, who's that? Is it Mr. Blobby? Oh, no, it's not. It's the missus. Okay, shall I grab that one? I don't need that much. Oh, well, there, missus. She's brought me some wood, you see, for the wood burner. So I had to light it again because it's getting cold. Oh, it's still light, just. You're a good little gopher, you. You're a good little gopher. Right, put that in there. Right. I'm now coming back. That's motorised, by the way. Right. Hey, darling.
I'll just make the tea.
Could make some tea now. Yeah. She's a good slave. Bon esclave. Well, anyway. Right, actually do what I should be doing. I should just double check. I've got audio. Have I got audio, everybody? Because I might be talking to myself. It's happened before, you know. It has. That would be rather crazy. So I'm just going to check on here, make sure I've got audio. So short says live. Apparently I'm live. Oh, there you go. That's me. No, that's a day ago. That's not now. Or is that now? Now I'm confused. Right. I know I'm live because I can see people. There's people in the chat, there is. Why didn't it show live on there? This is strange. That's nuts. There's nothing here to say that I'm live. That makes no sense. I am logged in the right channel. Yeah. But I mean, these things are really sent to try you, aren't they? Hey, what if I view the channel? Oh, there we are. I am live. Oh, phew. The channel. Oh, yeah. There we are. I am live. Oh, and I can hear audio. Oh, like a eureka moment. Oh, hello, Lefty Boater and Peter Tiffany. Hello there. Hope you're well. Let me just stop the audio on that. I'll tell you what. I'll put this one over here because I can use that to keep an eye on the chat, can't I? That's a plan. I like it when a plan comes together, me. Yeah. Well, I could do it being a bit bigger on there. My God, that's tiny. I'm going to put that up on the computer in a minute as well behind me. So anyway, so I've got this hand plane here. This is a 5.5. So it's basically a 2 3/8 inch. Because I was talking about old money, yeah? That's when these things were made. And so it's 2 3/8. It's not quite 2.5 inches in width. No. But I tell them it's all about the girth, you know. It's all about the girth. Yeah, apparently so. It has the original rapier chip breaker. And this is probably the original plain iron, hence it's extremely short. I can't even remember where I got this thing from. And I've had it quite a long while, but I can't remember where I got it from. So what we're going to do is we're going to release the clamps over there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to level them, flatten the top. Now, it shouldn't be too far out. I wasn't that fussy, as you probably noticed when I was putting it together in the live stream. But yeah, little cricket, make sure that's in there properly. There you go, let's put that to one side. We're not using that one. It's actually quite a good plane, actually, the way. But the thing is, we all talk about like the Stanley Baileys and stuff like that. There are other hand planes out there because you've got, the rapiers are made in Gateshead. The Stanleys, the English Stanleys, are made in Sheffield. Is Gateshead in Sheffield actually? Can't remember now. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I'm terrible, me. Anyway, so what we've got to do is release these clamps. Get that out of the way. Put this over here for the moment because we won't be using this one. Got my rubber mats. Don't need them at the minute. No, because I'm going to do something. I am to make it easy to hold this top while we actually plane it. Now you could put on the rubber mats, but there's a possibility we could try that they might slide about. So first of all, let's just release these clamps. We've got these G clamps here. I put the 4 on the corners. Normally I put pads underneath these, underneath the feet or the shoe. So they don't mark the top. But I was in a lazy mood. I think it's because I'm doing it live, and I kind of like, I just got to get it done. Got to get it done. Time was pressing on, and also the batteries are running out. So I need a little hammer. I'll use a little ball peen hammer, hence it's like a little ball on the end, a ball peen hammer, and I'll just tap because basically I've glued them on. That's that. 1, 2. That was released. 3. Now these clamps, I bought these a while back. These are actually from Axminster. I bought them several years ago, but these are just Axminster's ones. They're obviously Chinese. I've got lots of other clamps as well. I've got like, loads of record clamps, like these big old baggers. These are 8-inch record clamps. Got loads of those. We used to use those a lot, but even these bend, I'll prove it to you. Here you go. This is a record. I might have given that a little bit too much weddy. If you eye that up, you can see it's not in line anymore. It's bent. So it happens. Still, it still works, but you can't use it for anything you want to be a bit particular about. But lots of manufacturers made clamps. It wasn't just record. I think record G clamps are probably one of the most popular. But you had Woden, and there's loads of them out there. Quite like the Wodens. They used to be really strong. Right, these little 4-inch here, a record. I just collected them over the years, and just I bought loads and loads of little F clamps, small F clamps. You probably heard me say before about 400 clamps, but the reason why I had so many clamps is because I was doing a lot of laminating. When you're steam bending stuff and laminations, you need a lot of clamps. Ow! Only kidding. I didn't really drop it on my foot, but it was close. Right, out we go. Right, so let's release these sash clamps. And I had a look at this yesterday. I did a little video actually about the glue that we used, which was the Cascamite, and the actual it was still a bit soft yesterday. So normally within a few hours it goes off, but with this humidity that we've got at the moment, it was taking a bit longer than it should do. And if you look at these clamps here, when you buy these clamps, all you get is that and that. Okay, and this again, I think these are Axminster or Rutland's heads. I've got some record ones over there as well, my long ones. But these are okay, but they can break across here. If you put too much pressure on it, and also here, across here, they can snap off. So they're not brilliant. They're not as good as the record ones. The record ones, they last forever. But you just make up these rails, like so, and put your holes in, for which you put your pins into. And they work really well. They really do. And when you get a bit too much glue build up on the top, I always just run the hand plane along the top and skim it all off. Now you can obviously make wooden clamps. These are quite cheap. These I think they cost like 10 euros a set. Being as I was buying a lot of oak in at the time anyway, I just used whatever I had really. And trued it up, make sure it's straight, and then make the clamp. Made a little jig up for the holes. I like making jigs. That way you can replicate. I can't get it in the hole. Yeah, there you go. I was up there. That's that one. That's what Mrs. said. Right. We will rearrange, do something with that camera in a second, because it's not right. There, okay, test declamped. Now we've got a load of glue. There's a load of glue, okay. What I'm going to do is, can I get it any further away? Okay, right. You see here, we have, over here, that might be better. There's a load of glue, squeeze out. Now, I could have wiped it off with a rag, you know, at the point of squeezing it out. But what worries me is when we do that, the glue can shrink back. As it goes off, shrink back past the actual joint. So you can end up with a gappy joint. So sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I didn't this time, depends what it is really. So what I want to do is make sure that it's the joint is full, which it is. So, right, oh crikey, there's cupped a bit in the middle. That's going the right way, that's going the right way. Right, but we can sort that out, one. Right, so to flatten the top, probably, what can I get away with doing on these rubber mats? Oh, maybe. So what I do sometimes, because the back doesn't matter, right, I'll actually screw a block onto the back here, just into the middle here, and then you can put it in the vise. And that way you can just in the vise. And it ain't going anywhere then, is it? You know? Or you can just put it on the block along this side, so it's still on the bench, and this side here can be clamped into the vise. And then unscrew it when you finish, because no one's going to see the back, are they? You know? But removing the glue, I'm going to use a little triangular scraper, which probably needs sharpening. It wasn't too bad. And I'll just remove this excess glue. I'll tell you what, I'm going to bring you a bit closer so you can see what's going on. Planting trees again today. We were in the garden, on the fields for our rewilding project. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I quite like seeing trees go in the ground. You know what though, it wouldn't happen if it wasn't for people who've been supporting the project. Because everything costs, doesn't it? You know, people make contributions, and I make a sign to go with those trees. All right, so that's off there. You won't remove this glue, especially when you're dealing with cascamite. Yeah, the thing about cascamite is a very hard, very brittle glue. Well, then brittle, that's not the right word. It's got a bit of flexibility in it, but it's a hard glue, and it'll soon take the edge off your tools. So you don't want that. No. So best to remove as much of the glue as you possibly can. Otherwise, you'll find yourself constantly sharpening your plane irons, which be annoying. I know some people get the old belt sander out to the boards off. I don't like that. No. Sometimes you do more harm than good. It's a belt sander isn't a very big surface, is it? It's quite a small surface, and the ends, where you got the radius on the end, which is over the rollers, they tend to, cause little scallops in your wood. It's better to use something flat to plane something flat, if you ask me. Oh, listen to that noise! Oh, it's like going to the dentist. It's like the teacher and the fingernails down the blackboard. Yeah, let's do it again. That's not doing it now. Oh, that's it. Yeah. Right. When you want to flatten the board like this, obviously it's quite handy to have a roll, some sort of form straight edge. See, there's some highs there, but it's obviously not as high on one side than the other. So I could have done a better job when I glued it up, but I'll be able to be honest with you, I wasn't that bothered because it's only a tiny little table. If it's a big table, you've got to be more particular. I made one table, a refectory table, for a customer, for a chateau here in France, and this thing was huge, absolutely huge. It was 4 meters long, and about how wide was that? About I think it's 1.2 or 1.4 meters wide. That was a big old thing, and the top weighed a bomb. It was on solid oak, you see, and being solid oak, it's heavy, you know. And we're not talking about like this 27mm thick. It was like, yeah, at least that, about 40mm inch half. That was at least inch half. Yeah, I think it started off with 2-inch material, My cut went down to, because obviously you've got to level off over quite a long distance, so you take quite a bit of material, you lose quite a bit, because obviously over a longer distance you have to take a lot more material off. But yeah, about 1.5 inch it ended up from, I think it was 55mm thickness sawn originally. Or I might put my block on. Others are going to constantly move. So I'm going to grab a bit of wood. We're going to screw something on the back of this to make life a lot easier. Where is a block of wood? Oh, chance prefers the prepared mind. Why didn't I prepare myself? How's this fire doing? Oh, just there, just about. Get a bit of a wiggle. I'm just poking it with the wood, okay? Get in there, you. Oh, okay. Oh, that's better. That's better. Now, where's a block of wood? I want a block of wood. Actually, that'll probably do. That'll do. Bum, 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 bum. What I'm going to do is I'm going to screw this on the back. Right, so, and then that can be placed in the vise. And that way I can actually, I got caught up in the scraper of the rag now. Get off, rag! Doesn't want to come off. Right, so I'm just going to draw that off there, draw that off there, draw that off there. And I'm going to put that on there. Right, I'll screw that on there. And it's only for purpose of, so I can actually clamp it down, so don't move about. So I'll just cut the screws will do. Don't need any more than that. Oh no, sacrificial. What are we doing? Put a screw on top of a screw. That's a bit of a silly thing to do. Right, let's just make sure that it can go all the way through. I want any short ones. Oh, too close. Let's use the other ones. Oh, they do. So what I'm going to do is now put this in the vise over here. I could possibly still use the rubber mats. I'll just take some of the spring out of them. I'm moving you backwards. Oh, crikey, you're going on a journey. Right. Does that hold it or not? No, get rid of the mat. Needs to be flush. There you go, that's better. Right, now I can clamp it. Now, you could put some dogs in the vise and stuff like that so you can make sure there's no gap there. Alright. Yeah, you can put some dogs in it, dogs in the vise so you've got something to push up against, so basically clamp some bits of wood down the side and stuff like that. But because I've done what I've done, I've now got something here that should hopefully stay put. Oh, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be making skin grafts, sweetheart. That's what we're going to do. Hopefully the plane is sharp enough. Oh, bring her over here. Sorry about that. Oh, there you back there. Oh, you okay? Oh, there you are. All right. Look at that. It's cupped in the middle here. A bit of a spring in it. Oh, I'll screw it down. That'll hold it. No, don't screw your tabletops down. No, you should use buttons. No, not buttons you put on your shirts. Little wooden blocks with a little channel on one side, like a tooth almost. That allows the top to expand and contract on the other top. But when you deal with small tops like this, quite often you do screw them on, but you'd use either a loose hole for the screw or a slotted hole for the screw to screw the top on. Whatever you like. So I'm starting off cross grain. I'm going to work my way right across the top. So let's just bring this phone over here so I can see. 277, and then I can keep an eye on the chat then, can't I? We're in live chat, aren't we? Yep. Where's all my chat gone? Yep. Oh, yeah, I'm still there. I'm trying to find my chat now. There we go. Oh, we're back again. Hello, Alec. Hope you're well. So we're going cross grain to start with, so you end up with shavings like that. Yeah, so they're not like nice long curly shavings, no. Scream and scream until I'm sick. You know, her shavings, whatever her name was. You just work your way along, and then there'll be places where you don't make any headway, and there'll be places where you do. What was that rocking in there? In the voice, probably. That's better. My phone just went ping. Now, if you use a scrub plane, you'll be going cross grain like this again. You won't go along grain because all you create are loads of gouges in the wood. But you just go diagonal and you crab the plane. So don't try and just go straight like that. You're crabbing it. So you're literally going diagonal, sort of that way, not that way, which would be the obvious thing to do. But no, it's best to go slightly at an angle. So you're creating a slice motion with the hand plane. What I'll do is I'll be removing the highs off, and then we'll work until we get down to the lows. And the thing is, with anything like this, you don't want to get stressed over it. Oh, I've got to do it as quick as I possibly can. Just treat it as piecework. If you've got your hand plane ready and set up, ready to go, you can do a bit, put it on the side, come back to it and do a bit more. If you're getting tired or, you find it a little bit physical, you're struggling with it, do it bit by bit, bit by bit, bit by bit. Now we've got to just make sure the plane iron is set correctly, which it is. Otherwise, you'll create lots of little gouges in it. We'll get a wedge on this back edge here. Where's my wedge? Got a wedge here somewhere. Where's my wedgie? Oh yeah, this little. That one there, that's one wedge. Bum, 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 bum. There we go, that's it, I'll stop that from rocking. I'll just put a little wooden wedge under the corners on top of the vice, because when the vice is fully extracted, the weight of the vice on the rails, it's a very old vice, it's not a very old record, 55, is it? I think it's 55 or 65. It's old anyway. In fact, it's actually welded up as well because it broke. It's snapped. Now, that's very tempting. So, I don't want to take more material off and dig deeper. It'll be quicker. I'm not interested in that. I just want to get it flattened off. Now, currently a little bit high in the middle. Yeah, let's come down a bit of rock in the middle. I've created a bit of a cup and I've clamped it up. That's me not being careful. Now, if I was using, say, for instance, the number 5, because this is a hand plane. First hand plane. This is a smoothing plane, right? They're both bench planes, but this is a jack plane. Now, the jack plane you sharpen perpendicularly. You might take a little bit off the corners of the plane iron, but the smoothing plane you tend to create a slight round. That's what you're supposed to do, slight round to the plane iron. So you don't actually really ever take a full width shaving with a number 4. You take more off the middle and it feathers off to the edges. So if you look at these shavings, I'll try and find an appropriate one. They'll be thick in the middle, and then these feathers, you can see they're feathering there to nothing on the edges. And this is a better one. It's feathering on both sides, so I've got a better shaving on that one. So it's so I'm cutting in the middle, but not on the ends. Now the deeper the cut is, the wider the shaving will be, because I'll be making more use of the blade, because it'll be protruding more out of the bottom of the through the mouth of the plane. So if we oh Oh, you see my missus? She's there. Crikey, do you know I'm married, poor girl. Hello, who's Ebadiah Thomas? Oh, my front door's jammed shut, he says. Can't open with a B word. The wood has expanded. Oh, you got oh yeah. With winter mild rain. Needs a 16th taken off the bottom and a 32nd taken off the shut line. Oh, God, this is a summer job now. And a varnish, yes. But wait until it's had enough time for the moisture to come out of the wood. Otherwise, when you varnish it up, you'll get bubbles. Where in the varnish, you'll get little blisters. And that'll be, actually it's probably better depth this is, and that'll be the actual water evaporating in the wood and creating bubbles behind the finish. It ain't very nice. You might have seen it in the past where you see bubbles and painted woodwork and you can pop them. If you're a kid, you go around popping the bubbles so the water comes out. Because it's fun, it's like popping a bubble wrap. Oh, that's perfect now, look at that. Coming off nicely. It's actually, if you see here, right, I don't even see that just there. As I've taken it off, the screw, the lateral lever is not set correctly. I've got more depth on this side than I have on that side. And that's why I'm creating these little gouges. Because if I had that correct, I wouldn't be doing that. So what I need to do is retract the iron that way a little bit. Is that better? A little bit more. Well, that's better, that's good. Fix it. Now, although I could use this hand plane, it doesn't have a, for start, I'm flattening the board at the moment, so it's bridging in a minute. It's getting bad, let's see. Let's have a gap there now. Now, this perpendicular sharpening on this hand plane. Oh, crikey. Too much depth. Start with it out, then in, out and in and out. So although this is doing a nice job as well, do you know what you need? Actually, to be honest, you could treat this as a smoothing plane if you wanted to. Just have 2 plane irons. You know, because the plane irons are cheap. So you could have one plane iron set up to be a smoother in a number 5 jack plane. And the other plane iron can be set up to, say, true the edge of a board. Because this plane is long enough to do so in most cases. So I've said this before, a number 5, if I was only going to have one plane, it would be the number 5, not the number 4, although nearly everybody goes for the number 4 because they're cheap. And you can still get the Stanley Bailey new, and not as good I know, Stanley Bailey number 5, but they do the 5.5, which has a slightly wider plane iron with the 238, which it's kind of like the perfect kind of balance then if you were only going to have one hand plane. And I'm not talking block planes, because block planes are also very handy. See, they're a nice job. It's got the Chinese plane iron in there, which cheap as chips, €8. I had to fettle it because it wouldn't work. No, it wouldn't fit. Even though they said for them, this plane, it wouldn't actually fit. Also, ASMR is. That's nice to use, I have to admit. And partly because the tote, I've actually made that tote and it fits my hand. It's not the same shape on both sides. It's actually made to fit, yeah, as though my hand's going around it. But it is really nice plane to use. I have. But it's not the right one for the job, really. Because this one, I've actually done the plane iron, the actual iron in it. Now, when it comes down to, when you've got that last little bit, you then think about how I'll go a little bit more with the grain. Because at the moment what I'm doing, I'm creating tear out, because I'm going across the grain. And we won't necessarily want that. Later on, we could say to ourselves, okay, we'll carry on going sideways like this, clean it up the best that we can, and then finish off with a scraper plane. Or a hand scraper, like a card scraper. Such as one of these, which is like a piece of sprung steel, right? You sharpen these up. It's the burr that you create on these, which is the actual edge that creates the shaving. That one's blunt. Yeah, that's blunt as. Or am I going the wrong way? Actually going the wrong way. Or, if you've got a number 80, such as a little scraper plane like that one, and these are a popular pattern, number 80. You can get these in other makes as well, but this is the Stanley version. And effectively what you do is you literally just push it. And if you go there, you'll create these little really fine shavings. It'll be really, really smooth. I am going the wrong way, I should be going that way. That's why they're not coming out that well. I think it's rough there still. First of all, we have to flatten it. And that's what we're doing today. Without creating a dip in the middle. Because at the moment I think I have. Right, let's move that over there. Here we've got here at the moment. Hello, Steve McGowan. It's high in the middle because it's warped up the centre. What is warped? That's all warped. It's high in the middle because I didn't trim my edges properly. That's why that is. And I just worked too much hair. I need more hair. That's the thing when you do live, isn't it? You know, you kind of like warps and all, you do. You can't really get any more honest than that, can you? You know, when you do anything live, if I mess up, you will see it. I can't exactly cover it up, can I? Do. It's definitely thicker than the original top. Getting there. So now I'm taking shaving almost all the way across now. The hands for the thickness to the right. That wide, a 24-inch. I've got a 12-inch. Little Multico. I used to have a little box pad, a jet one, and that thing used to whine. That did, crikey, did a lot of work, mind, but it was wasn't brilliant. I think a lot of that jet stuff is actually Delta as well. Oh, getting tired. I'm getting a lot of comments at the moment. I don't understand a word that you're saying, but I like watching it, so I don't know what it's all about. It makes me laugh. The thing is though, if you get upset, if you allow the comments to get to you, you shouldn't be doing YouTube. You really shouldn't. Because although you get some really lovely comments, you do get a lot of stuff that, quite frankly, is just offensive. And I find the best way to shoot those sort of comments and remarks down and just go along with it. I know, it's terrible, isn't it? Eh? I know. Now what moulding am I going to put on the edge of this? I'm trying to make my mind up whether or not I go a little bit more modern. with this little table, because one thing that's going to be an absolute nightmare. It's going to be absolute hell to get all the paint off that. It's oak, but it was painted white, and I managed to get most of it off. But yeah, you get the stubborn bits, you know, you get in there with your scraper and that. And, yeah, it'd be a sort of a labour of love, trying removing all the little bits of paint. Why do people do that? Especially in all these little mouldings here, like little turnings, like there and what have you. Can you imagine? Yeah, just bit of a nightmare. And over here as well. And then you've got this dark sort of syrupy sort of stain going on here. They used to a lot of on the old council houses. They used to use a lot of like bitumen. Put that on first, like treacle was on the actual skirting boards and stuff, around on the staircases, on the strings. But it's going to take absolutely forever to clean these up properly. If I am going to go the wood route, it's kind of tempting to go the to go a painted route. It's tempting. Don't want to, but it's tempting. It feels wrong. But then if I say it feels wrong, then I have to myself, the top I'm going to be putting on this isn't necessarily correct either. Because I haven't, have I got the right, you know, I've got OG's router bits and shapers and what have you, but and there's other patterns, but have I got the right one for this? What's will be more of a Scotia mould, like a long Scotia mould on the edge. We have got another old table similar to this in the house, but more oval, not oval, rectangular, you know, oblong. And that has quite a particular moulding. I don't think, you know, you can have a square edge, I don't think it look right. So do I go along with the fact it's old, or do I try and make it modern? Because I'm quite tempted to ebonise the top, make it black. It's probably wrong, isn't it? What do you think? Do I just go with the wood? Or do I try modern, not do something modern with it? Or some weird finish? See what you're saying. Where's my... Oh, upside down. Didn't know, but planing is quite hard work, you know. What's my drink? Take the wind out of you. A little bit high there. Oh, it's not too bad now. I think it's how pedantic do you want to be about it? Yeah, Caroline's well. She's better than me. Oh, she's got to go to the hospital as well soon, so I'm at the hospital again next week. She's gone for checkups. Front door's jammed. It's high in the middle because it's warped up the centre. I don't think it is. Let me have a look. Some winding sticks on that, I better see about, but that's not too bad. There's a little bit of a slight twist in it, but that had been in the original boards. Yeah, the original boards. I didn't true the boards up. I just cut them and glued the edges up. But some of it I think I've actually not. The joint I've done in the middle here. I've got a funny feeling I might put the wrong. No, is it the wrong around? It's not around here. I might not have actually got that correct when I was doing the jointing. But do I care? No. Sometimes perfection can be the enemy of the good. And who's it for? It's not for anyone else but me. So I was going to put a voice in it. Hello, Paul Bignell. You'll be out of buff soon. I already am. Can't you tell? Decapan. Isopropyl alcohol and lemon juice. Alcohol and lemon juice. I'll have to try that. I ain't tried that. You talking about like barbecue fluid? Well, not dissolve because that's Probably because of shellac. You know, dissolve the shellac. Got to give it a go. I have actually used paint strip on it before, get the worst of it, because it was thick. That's just layers and layers of white paint all over it. That's just, you know. So I obviously took most of it, but still like that extra little bit in it, you know. It's not a TLC now. How do? Hello there, Uncle John Carving Hearts. And T Ward, hello there. Hello, just found your channel. If I wanted to get into woodwork as a hobby, what is a good way to get started? Just get started. Don't procrastinate. Just give it a go. Just think to yourself, what kind of thing would you like to do? Are you interested in wood carving? Are you interested in furniture making? Are you interested in, I don't know, pallet projects? Whatever you can get out. Think about the materials as well. That's obviously a valid point. Have you got anywhere you can source materials? And also think outside the box. But you see, for carving, if you want to get into carving, it doesn't have to be expensive. You've got whittling and what have you. You can buy a set of whittling knives. It don't have to be tremendously expensive. But if you want to do actual carpentry work, you just want a couple of chisels, hand plane and a saw, really, I suppose. Obviously, your screwdrivers and whatever, you know. A battery screwdriver and some drill bits, maybe, a good idea. But, you know, if you want to get into it, it doesn't have to be complicated. You've got to start somewhere. And you just start with basic stuff. And don't let people tell you, your first projects will be rubbish, you know, in your mind, or you might be happy with them, but there could be rubbish. Don't worry about it. It's learning, isn't it? That's what we've all learned. I can remember growing up as a kid and that, making stuff, and it's absolute crap, you know. And it's just, okay, I've been doing it for quite a while now, but it's just, I think we allow people's opinions to get us down and manipulate our feelings. And I think really just say sod it, you know. Treat everything as an experience, as something to learn, you know. You become your own teacher. And there's plenty of good YouTube channels out there which can help you as well, you know. And the only thing I say to you, so don't go down the route of of a Craig jig, pocket hole screws. Just don't do it, please don't. I just hate them. I absolutely hate them. To me, it just looks rough. It's just like a load of tough screws and end up with holes everywhere that you got to fill or put plugs in or something. It's just yeah, I don't like it. That's not woodworking to me. It's 3 parts alcohol and 1 part lemon juice. I will give that a go. That sounds interesting. What does lemon juice do? Just make it smell nice. Because they're both not acid, because it's alcohol, not, yeah. So I will try that. Cheers, that Steve. I haven't heard that one before. Hello, Joe. Thank you and welcome. I want to make a wooden chessboard and pieces. Well, the pieces you can. Well, there's loads of ways to make the pieces. You know, if you want to go down the little lathe route, you can do it that. You can make your own little lathe, or you can whip them by hand. I think that's the nice way. But obviously we've got all those pawns to make. You think so? How can I standardise? Don't forget the pieces don't have to be like traditional pieces. You can have your own interpretations as long as they represent the pieces. But the actual board themselves, making the board's actually really easy. You start off by, you say for instance, I don't know, let's say you have a board with 50mm squares. What you do is you rip down or you cut some pieces of timber. Obviously, you've got 2 colours, don't you? Or you stain 2 colours. 50mm square timber. Laminate them up alternatively. Yeah, black, white, or blue, red, whatever colours you want to go for. And then you cut them down lengthways, so crossways, and then you glue those faces together, and that'll create your chessboard. But what you've got to make sure is that each time you do those faces, that they're perfectly true. So a hand plane or something like that. If you've got a table, so you can do it all pretty much on the table. So I've made chessboards before, a few of them, in fact. You don't have to think, I'll make every single little square block. So you just, same way, you see all these rather pretty cutting boards that you see people making online, and you see about YouTube feeds and stuff, and shorts feeds. And they're relatively easy to make, really. It's just having, well, the machines ready to do it, really, to make it a lot easier. Doing that stuff by hand takes a lot of time. But there we go, a bit of labour and love. It might be what you want to do. there's something nice working with wood, with your hands, you know? Not that wood. You do what makes you happy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's a lot of snobbery in woodwork, isn't there, you know? And I was a bit like that, and I've gone a little bit more Heath Robinson these days. And partly because since moving here to France, nothing is square or true. It's all farmhouse, you see, it's all moved. That's all wonky. So you've got to use your imagination and also different skills. And that's where my boat building skills come in, because you're talking about compound curves and compound this and compound that. So basically nothing's true or straight, and you work from your dating level, and then you kind of have to go along with it. And you have to use the ethos. If it works, obviously if there's a door, it needs to open and close properly. But if it looks right, it is right. Because sometimes in your mind, if you make something correct, like for instance, level for it, it might look like a dog's dinner because it doesn't look level, because there might be other angles nearby. It makes the whole thing look ridiculous. Like for instance, this house is on the hill. We're actually on the side of a valley here in France, and it's you just got to go with it. That was really hard to start. When we first moved here, I was finding it really difficult because we bought the house, we ran out of money very, very quickly, and we needed a staircase. I thought, we've got to get a staircase soon, and I can't afford to buy one. I didn't have a workshop set up at the time, you see, not here anyway. And we couldn't afford to buy one, so I thought, oh, crikey, what are we going to do? I don't want them old things. So I just looked around and went, well, we could use that. And now we've got a really quirky but really cool staircase. And it's literally made with old wattles from the old wattle and door walls, and used the old strings from the original staircases. I made a new step string for the walls, for the wall side. Done a new dog leg at the bottom in stone. That sort of thing. Just think outside the box. The handrail, we literally dragged a piece of wood out of the woods and carved that up. And it looks really good. We're really pleased with it. You know, and there's certain things in the house that I would have liked to be able to do if I had the money, but we've run out of money. You know, we got hit with a recession, you see, so we didn't get as much. We were middle of the house sale and buying this place, and we got hit in the financial crash, and the value of our house just plummeted. We couldn't sell it. Well, we did sell it, but at knockdown price. We already signed up to CSA, everything was in flow. So that was a bit of a bummer. Anyway, after paying for this place, we had very little money left over. Just enough to get started. So you just got to go with what you got, you know. Yeah, what makes you happy, definitely. Who says T-War did one of them in woodworking class? So did I. How old have I been? Probably about similar age, 13, 14, something like that. Used super day, very hard wood for the light and dark blocks. Don't bother making pieces. Well, you can make your pieces. Depends what you want on it. You know, if it's a part of the process. If you made your board, you just want to get on with it, but then just buy some pieces to get by with. But in the meantime, you could be replacing them with hand carved ones if you like. You know, as long as you start with some distinguishable features like being all the same size, such as the pawns be small. But a lot of them you can literally just whittle. You do it green if you like, make it a lot easier. Hello, Christopher Stevenson. I love this channel. Love you too. Hopefully one day it might pay its way. At the moment, it doesn't. Oh, crikey. But I'm no novice to that. YouTube isn't easy. I tell you, it really isn't easy. And what you find is people either love you or they hate you. What kind of give this channel a boost was a ridiculous video I made about don't use your finger on the mastic joint or something. And that video's had like 5 million views. No, 6 million views. I think 5.5 million now, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, I've done a lot of views, and that's sort of like give me another boost on this channel. So I thought I'd give it another go. So I think I've got it almost there. I'm not that worried, you know what I mean? It's still a bit high there. A bit high there. That's good there. That's good that way. Oh, yeah. A bit more there. start taking a little bit less off. But whenever you release your plane iron, remember, say for instance, I'm going to take I've got to take a bit off, yeah. Okay, a little bit less cut, all right. Or before you start doing the shavings, go down a bit. You're not actually meant to go down, you just tighten it up a little bit, because what happens is there's slack in there. You've got to take up the slack. And now I'm taking a lot less now, so final stages. See, although I've done a lot of furniture making in the past, that wasn't my main thing. I used to do architectural woodwork, so making canopies, oak framing, oak conservatories, all that sort of stuff. I mean, constructional work mainly. Doors, windows, shutters, big doors. I mean, like big ass doors, big chunky ones, barn doors, all traditional stuff, big joints. Oh, we're almost there. I can't find my winding sticks. I know you just use couplets of wood, but I made some winding sticks in school years ago. I can't remember what wood they were. I think they were teak actually, or were they mahogany? I think they're mahogany. They were laminated. You know, it was two woods. I think that was maple and walnut. Oh, hang on, no, that was mahogany and walnut, I think. I'm not worried about splintering the edges out because I don't remember that was too wide. I haven't trimmed it to width yet. I'll wait to get in there. Still a bit low there, which means this is all too high. So basically I've got to take a bit off everywhere to get that down. And Steve McGowan was right, there's a very slight twist in it. Not a lot though. And that's partly because I didn't true the boards before I glued them up, I mean on the tops. Because the these were doors on a cupboard originally. Oh, the joints look quite good though. They're quite tight. Da, 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 da. God, I used to do some strange things at work over the years. I had to make a finial for church years ago. I can't even remember the name of the church. That was a long time ago. And it was all fiberglass, and we had to use green pigments, which is copper in, to do the gel coat. Because the one they had on there kept corroding. Well, they keep corroding, they've got to corrode. And it's cheap to have a fiberglass one made up. So I made the plug and the mould and everything, then actually get a copper one made. It's really expensive, because hardly anyone out there doing it. This is what we've been working on our boots, you see. Oh my God, do you know what I just had? My dad had a boat. He had several boats, he was a boat builder, you know, he had boat yards and that. But a boat that I remember as growing up as a kid was Spale Fin Phallic. Dad changed the name to ACS. And that boat, not a yacht, not a 22-foot yacht, very deep keel, for which Dad cut down and put a wing keel on it. because the draft was too much on Norfolk Broads, because it was a coastal racer, is what it was. And this particular boat was on the Lloyd's Register. Now, I just found the other day, I found the actual registration documents, Lloyd's Register, every year you have to, I think it's every year, you have to re-register it as a ship. So it's the smallest ship. I don't know if it's in the Guinness Book of Records, but that's a 22-foot long ship. I don't know how or why it was registered as a ship on the Lloyd's Register. Don't know. Don't get it. That was a plywood hull boat. Eventually the rock got it eventually. Dad started losing interest in it, and I was on hard stand and all the transom rotted out, unfortunately. Having too much of a job to restore. It's a shame, it was a lovely boat. There, getting close. A bit high there. Okay. You see, screwing a bit of wood underneath so you can use your vice. You're not going to see it anyway, it works. Or you could have some dogs. If you've got a bench with loads of holes in it, you're dropping dogs, so you can actually just push it into the corner. That also does work. And you can have a cam lock arrangement to lock the board into place. There's nothing worse if it's just constantly move around on you. All the wedges fell out. There you go. Getting close. I was watching Paul Sellers the other day. I like Paul Sellers. He's been doing about 50 odd years, and he's restoring a little smoothing plane. I wouldn't have done that way, but it wasn't my cup of tea. But anyway, he was saying about the wear in the middle of the plane, but the planes don't generally wear there. They don't. Otherwise, they wouldn't be dipped there. They'd be wear right along. There's not a shrinkage in the iron where the stresses and strains dissipated. It's like pent up aggression inside the actual casting, because they're supposed to be seasoned in. The later planes were terrible for that, post 1972. They all do it, but depends on how well the iron casting has been seasoned. It depends on how much movement and how much shrinkage you're getting the iron from the cast iron. You can think, oh, it's getting an ash. I'm not getting the shavings have changed. A little bit less. Go over once more. A little bit less now, and go along with the grain, if that works. Hopefully it does. If you've got a problem, if you are using a hand plane that hasn't been sharpened as a smoother, such as this one, what you can do is you can start on one edge, like you use a squeegee on a window, and then you work your way along. And you take that little ridge out as you work your way to the edge. But you're going to do it on the last strokes once you levelled it off, because you can't do it before, because you might need to work one area more than the others. The other areas. Oh my god! I got wind now. But you're glad I shared that with you, didn't you? Eh? I'm using this hand plane now with a flatter plane knife. And also it's longer, so I can flatten the board. There'll be nothing left of it in a minute, will there? They will be gone. I've got to do the back as well, but I'll probably just do it with a belt sander. I'll tell you something, these thicker plane irons, you get a lot less chatter. They just work. That's better, that's good. How's it looking? That's looking pretty good. Looks a bit thinner. Now if you start going that way and you've got one board where the grain is going that way and then you've got one board of grain going that way, how do you know what direction to be planing in? Now I've started just there, a little tuft there. That's telling me the grain's coming this way. Yeah, it's just digging in, it'll get tear out. So you're better off not doing that. You're better off using a, if you've got another, in fact the Lee Nielsen's come with an adapter, different frog. But say for instance you've got a smoother like this, but has the 50-degree frog in it. So these are 45, yeah? So you go to 50 degrees, so slightly higher. It almost turns it into, it gets nearer towards a scraper plane. It's still a plane, because it still could take shaving. But what they'll do is they'll get less tear out, because the plane iron is actually higher. Which sounds a bit odd, but it works in similar principle to a scraper, because you see the angle of that. You know, it's working, I'll work at the scraper, because it is a scraper, that's what it does. Right, so hand on the palms, thumbs just behind. Hopefully it's sharp. Creating shavings. Right, see the shavings. Well, I'll probably do with a bit of a sharpen. And you use, where is it? Use a file, flat file, bastard file, and this is my steel. Now this steel, I didn't buy it. No, I make, because I make everything that I can. It's a drill bit. So I might have bought the drill bit at some point and then stuck it in the handle like so. So there you go. And basically, I have done a video on this channel about sharpening a card scraper. I have to do one about sharpening this. Veritas make a scraper plane as well. If anything, that's out a little bit too far, that scraper iron. Is it scraper iron or sort of blade? Now this will make it really, really smooth, but I don't want that. It's not a good idea to just have a scraped surface, because it is really, really smooth. And the reason for that is what happens is you'll have no, the grain will be too smooth. It won't take the stain as well if you give it a bit of a sanding first before you actually stain it. That grain's going this way. And the scrape was really good when we've got like grain around a knot, for instance. And it'll tend to just, you know, do a nice job just around the knots. Where you've got the grain going both directions. Because always remember, wherever you've got a knot, that grain is coming up on both sides of the knot. Now when I want to size this up, trim it to size. I'll do that on table saw probably. As long as I've got one perpendicular edge here, I can work the rest out on the table saw and just cut to the size I want. I think it's 480 square ones, that's what I'm saying. I'm going the wrong way in places. I've got this set a bit coarse actually. That's better. That's better. On the back here, you've got this screw. And what it does is it basically bends the this little iron here in the back here. So the more bend you have on that, the coarser the cut, more aggressive it will be. But you don't necessarily want that because you want to keep it fairly flat. But you want from the corner to corner, you want that to be protruding, just like you would do with a smoothing plane. You want that protruding more in the middle than on the ends. Just touch. So you use that little adjuster there. That puts pressure just on the back edge of that. And then if you need to move up and down, you've got these two screws. So they're a bit fiddly to adjust. But the best way of doing it is actually when you've got flat on your surface, like so. So the iron doesn't go too far through. Tighten it up, and then maybe a couple of little taps on the back. You might have to do a bit little, how to put give it a little bit of encouragement. Yeah, so to speak. The Veritas one is nice to use. I think it's got wooden handles. Well, these are good. The problem with the Veritas one's like an actual plane. You know, it literally looks like a coffin-shaped plane with the plane, the iron versus vertical as a scraper. Good now. Still a touch high here by about what? Not even 30 seconds. I think that bit rubbish there. Oh, that's good enough. I'm going against the grain there, so ready to come back. It's not a good way of doing it. Shall I sand it? I can do a bit of sanding. First, just check the chat. Have I hidden my phone up? What's here? See what you're saying. The only problem with doing the chat on the phone here, it is so tiny. I'll show you a minute when it comes up. Right, here we go. Tiny. Why is it so small? This is Plain Crazy Hour. Live. Plain Crazy. I like a bit of Plain Crazy, me. Hello, Richard Black Dog. Hello, keep rocking. I'm a rocking. Hello, bitch. Even all. Regularly. Hello, my buddy. Hope you're well. I know this guy from somewhere, he says. Oh, I know you too. I do, yeah. Mark, let's do the animal homes, boxes, etc. The ones about from B. McHugh. Are they shite? Yeah, it is small. And also, if you're talking about the little bird boxes, I've got to show I've actually put them up. No, in that moment. The bird boxes, if you're talking about bird boxes for a great tit or blue tit, you need to make sure there's at least from the hole to the top of where the nest would be, at least 4 inches, 100 mil. So if any other predator birds stick their head in there with their long beaks, such as like, fly eaters, whatever they call themselves, birds with long beaks, okay? If they stick their head in the hole and poke, they can, eat the eggs. So you need enough distance here, you see. And also the hole size depends on the actual species of bird you want to get in there. Let's, for instance, you want blue tits, you want a 25mm hole. thereabouts. And if you want great tits, it'd be around 28mm hole. It's not precise. I mean, it's just as a guide, really. If the hole's 35mm, it's likely to still go in there, but without more risk. And ideally, just a little ring of metal around. I tend to use a bit of wire these days, what I've been doing before I put them up. A bit of like fencing, galvanised fencing wire and a few staples around the outside edge of the hole. So other birds can't like chew the holes and make them bigger. Which isn't very good, obviously, because they get hidden again. So it's defeating the object. Now, the way I'm working it out here is I'm thinking these bird boxes are sacrificial. So, as I put them up, because I'm doing about 60 of them here, because you'll be doing rewilding here, you see. You want to be hard, let's go for me, link down below. So we're doing about 60, around about 60 bird boxes, small ones, you know. And then we're doing the owl roosts and the bat roosts and what have you. But the little bird boxes, I'm thinking to myself, well, is that for me, being a woodworker, it's quick and easy for me to produce another one than going around and just tarting up the old ones, if you know what I mean. So as they get a bit manky, we'll get rid of them. Some of them get away with just clean them out. You see, just screw the bottom off and just let they just fall at the bottom, you know. But I have to think to myself, how do I get these bird boxes up as quick as I possibly can, so they can do, you know, so that birds get a chance of nesting this year. And we've done a load already. We've got quite a few out there. I can't remember. I've done now 15, 20 of them so far. So I've got now 40 odd to do. That was my goal anyway. So somehow I need to batch them. But you can't really batch them very well if you're using recycled materials, because nothing comes in the same. The ideal scenario is, okay, go and buy the pine or whatever to make these boxes, but it's all the same, so I can then batch it. Like a little production run of birdhouses, just so they've got somewhere safe, you see. And obviously, if they've got somewhere safe, they're more likely to make more little birdies, and they're less likely to die and get eaten by big birdies because they've got somewhere safe. So it's kind of the logic behind it anyway. And that we're doing this rewilding and planting all these trees and what have you. I've got another channel actually called Rewilding. It's linked down below. There will be a link down below. It might be there now actually. So yeah. Oh crikey! Hey T Ward, hello there. Oh, thank you very much. I got a super chat. Yeah, if you want to support the channel, crikey, I need all the support I can get. Oh, crikey, yeah. Oh, nice one. I got a super chat. In dollars, are you in the US by any chance? Thanks for the advice. No, you're more than welcome. Come back again and check out the videos, because the whole point of this channel is to help people. And hopefully in the process, maybe we might even be able to, I don't know, help ourselves. Maybe it's end up being a job, you know. At the moment, it certainly isn't, because I'm not earning anything really. But I thought at some point, you know, help fund the channel, then I can get things in and then plan the videos. I don't want it to be starchy. I don't want it to be like some of these channels where you see me, these really fancy workshops, which clearly have not had a drop of glue anywhere. You know, I don't want any of that. I'm not interested in all that tartness. No. There's a lot of tool tarts out there and tarty workshops. And although they give good advice, a lot of them, I do find it a little bit... when I see Paul Sellers in his workshop, I know that he makes stuff. You know? When I see Stumpy Nubs in his workshop, I know he ain't lifting a finger. He's got somebody in the other workshop with the carpeted floors. You know? I understand why, though, because when you make videos, woodworking videos, you've got so much to deal with. At the moment, light is an issue. It's really hard in the workshop to light it properly, especially in this space I've got here. I've got the light behind you at the moment, which is in the softbox. And all this stuff costs money, doesn't it, as well? You've got to buy, you know, you've obviously got the hammers, you know. So ideally, you want it to sort of be self-funding, don't you? Otherwise, you think, so, okay, it's nice you're helping people, but, you know, are you actually doing anything for yourself? It's not as though I'm making money on the views, because the views, you know, I don't get enough views. Maybe later on, you know, things will change, hopefully, and the channel will take off, maybe, I don't know. Hey, Marcus' biggest fan! Oh, crikey, where's your pencil? It was very kind of Marcus' biggest fan. He got me a pencil. Oh, who did I speak to recently? Oh, well, you know who it is. You know who it is. Oh my God, someone's scaring me. Get away.
Oh, I'm sawdust.
Get away.
I need sawdust.
Get away. Come here, say hello.
I need sawdust.
People believe that I'm married.
Hello.
Who would have him?
I'm just pinching the sawdust to light my fire.
Who would have him? She's real, you know. That wasn't an automaton. No, there's not a big key in the back.
You can't paint my table.
Can't paint your table. Oh, you heard that, did you? Oh.
I put that you can't paint it.
I'm not allowed to paint it.
No.
I'm not going to paint the top. What about these legs? I'll tell you what, I've got a job for you, Caroline. I want every little bit of white paint off these mouldings.
Oh, you can paint the legs.
Oh, I can paint the legs.
You just can't paint the top.
I'm not going to paint the top.
That's right then.
I don't know what I'm going to do with the legs, actually, to be honest. I don't really want to paint the legs, but if I might try Steve McGowan's idea. He says alcohol, isopropyl alcohol and lemon juice. I wouldn't be surprised that would work and all that brown stuff on there, because I think that's probably shellac. Oh, there. Oh, there. I just realised you can't really see properly. What can you see? Can you see? Oh, you could see it. There you go. I'll get down myself. I'll face that to you, Ward. How can you do precision woodwork with those sausage fingers? They're only sausage fingers because I've hit them too many times with a blooming hammer. That's why I've got sausage fingers. Yeah, call me King Charles the Third or whatever, if you like. No, don't do that. No, that'd be awful. Who we got here? Oh, we've got Richard Blackdog says, quickly, just jumped up. Where are you based? I am currently based on this stool. Okay? Just in case you're wondering. This was my mum's stool. It was in our kitchen. Move your fur back. Is that better? All right. Oh, guess what? My dear missus have brought me something to drink. I haven't checked the battery on the camera. Let's have a look. Oh, it's actually doing quite well today. Right, still got half a battery left. Can't be. Oh, did I just see? Crikey, that was super chat. Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much. Oh, that's great. Thank you for all you do and for making woodwork fun. Oh, it's got to be fun, isn't it? You know? Everyone's sent to try us, and you know, if you didn't have fun with it, what's the point, really? You know, it's like, actually, my missus, she's quite good about this sort of thing. She says, if you don't like your job, get another job. We'll manage. We'll find. You know, if you're not happy about something, you've got to make changes in you. You know, otherwise you're just going to be depressed and not happy how your life is progressing. And it's no way to live, is it? I don't think so. We kind of have the same ethos with our kids after setting them up the chimneys. Yeah. Get up the chimney, will you? Yeah. Poke them with a broomstick. Right. She should have married an accountant. Yeah. That might be the better idea. I'm useless, I am. Oh, dear. He's not making pianos because, I would say it. Okay. How do you do precision woodwork with those sausage fingers? I know. Sell them, Marcus. Find a buyer to supply to for a regular income. What, like making stuff and selling it? Oh, I could do that. The thing with that here is that there ain't anybody. I haven't got a very big customer base. Yeah, very rural here. Obviously, there are places, but no one's got any money. That's what I can see. My business in the UK, and then I brought it over here. Basically, just bought me, really, because I was the business. And I was doing a lot of woodworking here, making stuff, architectural woodwork here in France. And I was doing really well. And then a particular political event happened, and then it basically destroyed my customer base. So, yeah, unfortunately. But there you go. Now I'm doing wood. Now I'm doing YouTube. I'll get a glue off there. So, yeah, things change. Things are sent to... Caroline really has married down. I'm not arguing with you. I agree. She has. Oh dear. 30 odd years we've been together, you know. 30 odd years. It's like life sentences. Crikey. The East Coast, but I'm moving to the Philippines by the end of the year. Oh, wow. Where am I based? Well, we're based in France, so in Limousin in France. I was in Norfolk. I used to live in Sal House in Norfolk, near Rocks and Broads. Lovely place, you know. It really was. It did change for the worse, but like everywhere did, you know, become more transient. You know, we had a lot of those, you know, those Londoners coming up, you see, buying properties, pushing up the prices of the properties, what have you, in the area, then not even staying there. They're just there for like the weekend, and then they're back to work during the week. And because we had a lot of empty properties and it became, let's say, very transient, it ruined the place. But there you go. That wasn't why we left. We left because we wanted to change. We wanted to try something different. A change is as good as a holiday, they say. Scrolling up. Oh, thank you, Eccles. Are you in New Zealand by any chance? Ask a silly question. I have a big black thumbnail at the moment. Don't tell me about hammering fingers. Oh God, the amount of times I've hit my hands with a flip and a hammer. Usually because I've been an idiot, because I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing, or I've slipped off a nail. You know. These days, everything's screwed. These days, it'll be like you're holding a screw, and they might have a bit of a bad machine screw, and it's like a bit of burr on the side, and you're holding the screw, and you let it run through your fingers because you're an idiot, and then it tears up your skin on your tips of your fingers. Lovely it is. It's a great idea. Other things I've done, I cut myself a lot. Yeah, either with chisels or with Stanley knives. You won't be able to see it, but they've got a scar all the way down my hand there, where I sliced it all open. But you know, that's kind of what you do, isn't it? You know. But now, it's the hidden injuries that you don't necessarily know about are the problem. It's the RSIs. Yes. Or was it RSIs? Repetitive strain. Yeah, RSIs. Repetitive strain injuries. And I've got carpal tunnel syndrome in my hands. I've had the operation, and I was like 90% there. Not quite as dexterous as I used to be. You used to do a lot of fine stuff. These days I struggle. I also have a little bit of shake in my hands at times as well. But also my elbows. I literally had the scan yesterday here in France. I've had the one last week on the shoulders. They're okay-ish, just a bit calcification, but there wasn't nothing to speak of. But I've got damage on my elbows, and it's got nothing to do with woodwork. Weightlifting. I was getting a bit carried away because I used to do a lot of weightlifting at one point, and strengthen your body up and all that, get your old bone density up. And my body failed me. I can't remember what I was doing. I was doing kettle weights, curling kettle weights, and I had, what was it, 20? Was it 20? It was two of them. It was 20, 16, so that's 36 kilos, and the weight of the chain and the bar, so it's about 40 kilos. I was curling 40 kilos. There I was, I locked myself up and curling 40 kilos off the floor with these kettle weights, or with like a shackle. And then, right, you know, and basically I tore my ligaments and tendons and stuff. And I've got tendonitis, I suppose that's what it is, I suppose. And it's got damage there. And it showed up in the scan. It's the first time it's been scanned for, but this was about 4 years ago. And it's never been right ever since I did it. It never really healed. So I don't know what we can do about that. But I've got a lot of inflammation, they said, in that area. Oh, it's a nice cup. Well, yeah, you talking about this one here? Thank you very much. Oh dear. I do send Geraldine regular messages. I say regular, every 3 months, to say hi. She's all right. Very kind of you. Wally is a general builder, generally I don't know about excellent at everything. I'm sort of like jack of all trades, master of none, maybe. Is that what you're trying to say? Well, over the years, what have I done? Okay, leaving school, I trained as an electrician. Got done up to the 17th edition. I actually started doing training with woodwork, and then I went into do electrical work. Decided I didn't like that. I don't mind it, but because I was small, I had less dimension. I was one who always got doing old crawl spaces and stuff, and it was crikey, you come out all itchy and horrible. So after I qualified, I left there. Don't get me wrong, it's been really handy having the qualifications for that. I trained as an evening class. I actually trained as a plumber. Woodworking I did anyway. I did in Sitting Girls years and years ago. And then I did my MVQ 3. I did MVQ 3 as a bricklayer and builder, so it included scaffold and drainage and what have you. So I did that, and I got a degree in photography. Chalk and cheese and all that, you know how it goes. But yeah, and I got 17 distinctions in it. 17 distinctions. I've got the certificate and the mortarboard on my head to prove it. You imagine me in this gown thing with a mortarboard on my head. What's that all about? Flipping out, posing for the pictures. So yeah, I'm more qualified than I look. Put it like that. I don't really do carpentry though. More chippy work. Yeah, well, it's definitely, of course, it's like if you're talking about carpentry or cabinet making and stuff like that, joinery work. But if you're talking about roofing work, even that's changed, isn't it, over the years. When I started out, it was cutting all bird mouths and chopping old purlins in and stuff like that, or the rafters over the purlins and over the wall plate. And these days, they've got your TDA trusses literally made in the factory, come on a low loader, and they've just got pressed plates in them. The amount of times I've gone around had to put screws in them because they started falling out of the flipping trusses. Yeah, especially in the early days, before they were barbed. And now it feels a little bit like these skills are lost. And I actually see that it's not just an emotional thing about it, like for instance, it was a shame, but I see it as a problem. I see it as a problem because if we don't train new blood into old skills, what happens, like I mentioned earlier today, what happens when and if and if something really bad happens? Let's say if it's a war, for instance, argument's sake, and not because it's quite scary at the moment, isn't it? The internet can be down, everything can be down. Where's all the practical people to make the stuff, to get around the problems? They've got to make stuff or fix stuff or make Arnissen huts. Dig a bunker. I don't know. Where all that kind of... I can't imagine my kids doing that. Dizzy would. Darren would do that. Stefan would do that. Wayne, probably not. Karina, probably not. Probably more likely Karina than Wayne. So, I don't see the people will be there to do the practical stuff. That's what I see anyway. I think it's a bit of a problem. Hello, Mark Fuller. Hi, Wally. How many years have you been a carpenter? Ever since I left school. Pretty much. So when would that be? Crikey. No, we get onto that. Be 87, 88, 80. I actually was self-employed in 88. 88 was 89. I was self-employed. Before that, I was working for a company called Lacey Electrical. He went bankrupt. He's still the traveller check garages, what have you. We were travelling around the country doing that. And that's what I was doing my training as an electrician. God, it's a long time ago now, isn't it? But I've always done woodworking, ever since I got qualified. I've always done it. And I did it growing up, Dad was a boat builder. And it's just, that's what I always do, always help my old man in his workshop and at the boatyard and what have you, building boats. Some of them were wooden, some of them were fiberglass, when the old hull and superstructure come in, you have to get up on the chocks, level it up to the water line. And remember, the whole thing isn't, it's not square, is it? It's not a cube. It's a funny, pointy, rounded shape, isn't it? So everything in there has to be made to fit. We do a lot of scribing. Actually, it's a technique, actually, we'll show you on this channel, actually, on how to scribe it, and you can use it. You do fit the carpet even, or a lino, or something like that. And where we scribe in the bulkheads, how we used to do that. So the bulkheads would be cut outside of the boat, but we'd create a pattern inside the boat on a little bit of wood like that, literally. And that is our pattern to create the actual shape of the hull. I'll do that. I'll do a video on this. These are old skills. Some boatyards are still using those skills, obviously, because they're still making fiberglass boats. And But these days, look, you don't often have they don't use bulkheads so much as they used to. It's all part of mouldings and stuff. It's clever, but it's not as good. Here, kids have the choice to spend their the last 2 years of high school at technical, trades, or hospitality school, followed by an apprenticeship. The stonemasons here are fascinating to watch. God, what gets me is when they can just cut along a block, and it's just perfect every time. And you get a little bit of like raised break off, but it's like they're coming from the other side, and it just looks lovely. So it's just really those skills, just perfect, aren't they? Though. What you were saying there, Steve, is quite similar here in France when they go to technical colleges after leaving a college. It depends what line you have. If you're going to be a farmer, you go to farming college. It's it's just different. It's different than the UK. Is it better? Possibly not. Depends what suits you, I suppose. Sash windows. Oh God, I made some of them below with the sash weights and stuff. These days, you'll have sash weights all sprung. The problem with this sash windows is though, the amount of times I've had to go in and sort out the sash windows in Norwich, in the city, where people have caked them with paint over a period of time, and they got heavier, literally heavier, because of all the paint. So then the sash weights are no longer heavy enough if they were weighted quite on par. Do you know what I mean? So you go in there and we made these little they look like penny washers, lead penny washers with slots in the sides. So we take a little bit of wood off the side inside, because if you realise this, there's a little tiny piece of wood down inside the sash with an angular cut on it. You pop that out, one nail, you pop that out, and then you can add these little weights to the weight. You got your cast iron sash weight, just to make it a little bit heavy, just so the sash weight works. And with more paint on it, you see. And then you got these mad people who paint absolutely everything in the sash. There's parts of the sash window you're not supposed to paint, so it can run freely. And you can't trust all that, scrape it all out and all to make it work again. I've done so many of them. And build them as well. It's old sash windows. They're actually quite hard things to build. It's really handwork, really, because the sashes themselves, all the little mortises where you've got the mouldings, you've got the Georgian mouldings, they're so tiny, we do a lot of work in older and listed buildings where modern is not allowed. Good. And our main earner is wood, aluminium, European high-end windows and doors. Doing a bifold. Oh, cool. When's the last time I've done one of them? They weren't that fashionable. The big old bifolds where they basically open the side of the house up. I think I've done about 2. It's all. That was years ago. They were just coming into fashion, and also they weren't that They weren't. This would have been 15 years ago. They wouldn't have been that great either. You get a lot of adjustment on them, don't you? Too expensive. Sash windows will make a comeback. Biggest fan. Proper comeback this time. Proper. They would be expensive, yeah. I know you get the double glazed sash windows. The thing about a proper sash window, each pane is individual. And when you are told that everything's got to be double glazed, how do you do that without it costing a fortune? Because there's a minimum charge on your sealed units generally. So, for instance, here in France, I don't know what it is now because I haven't ordered one for free since the pandemic. So it's probably more now, but it used to be €22 minimum charge for to have a sealed unit made up. That'd be minimum charge up to basically it's the medium price. So if you could be €22 and you got, I don't know, 16 panes in it, that make a very expensive sash window. You're better off using dummy mullions and what have you, and one sealed unit, and just sort of kind of. But then it's not real, is it? Don't spoil the fort. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Mark's his biggest fan. Who's Ebediah Thomas was getting all excited about his sash windows. Make depleted uranium waste. I don't want to touch this stuff. Okay. They'll be heavy and small enough, they will, yeah. No worries, buddy. Good on Northboard, yeah. You from Salhouse, yep. Oh, you're from Caister. Caister on Sea. Been there many a time. And I fished it as well. Bit of beach casting. Got a busy old place now, isn't it, Caister? But you're doing the holidays, that is. Evening, A&M, I hope you're well. Where you from, boy? From OPF Norfolk. I'm from Salhouse. Actually, I was born in Norwich, Thorpe St Andrew in Norwich. Met the missus and we moved to Salhouse. And near the Broads and all that. So, nice place. It's a shame though, because the Salhouse Broads were literally just Salhouse Broads. It's just like a natural broad. Now it's like, Caters who owns it, they're kind of commercialised it to make some money, I suppose. Not surprised. Joiners, carpenters, woodworkers, many divisions of wood, carvers, wood turners. So yeah, we're all out there. And some of us do a bit of everything. And I tend to do a bit of everything these days. Yeah, because I enjoy it, Just working wood is just lovely. I'm just going to sand that. That's flat enough for me, okay? All right? Yeah, where's my sander? What have I done with it? Oh, it's over here. Oh, God, all that one on there. Blimey, is a bit coarse. Might have to go with a small one, because I don't know if I've got any fine discs for this one. I don't really want to go for 60. Right. Could do it by hand, I suppose. Have I got any fine ones? Oh, I need some more. That's what I need. That's not too bad. What's that? That is... Oh, God, that's too coarse. 120. We'll start with a 180. That's 240. Actually, I'm going to go 240s. Let's go for a 240 and I'll use that little old Chinese thing there. That'll work. I know there's no dust extraction on this. Well, there's dust extraction there, but what put it on. But these air sanders, because there's no motor with a fan in them and what have you, they really do not cause a lot of dust. Honest! It's my excuse, you see. Yeah. I would like a Rotex Festool Rotex sander. Those things are brilliant. But they're like 500 quid for a sander. Oh, it's smooth. Now, because this has got some sapwood in there, that's quite hard sapwood. That actually, the heartwood here scraped up lovely and smooth. But where the sapwood is, it's not smooth because obviously it's more open grained. I'm going over here with this air sander. If you look here, if you can see that, can you see that? The dust itself, it just stays put. I never feel like, for instance, that the air's full of dust when I'm using an air sander, only when I get the airline and blow it into the air. And above my head here, I have an air filter above my head. I'll show you. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's one of them. Look at that. That's a cook. And then I've got another one up that end there as well. Right, so... and that just keeps the extra little bit of dust out of the air if you want, if you want to have it on. If you see, it just stays put. Now, if this was the my Metabo electric sander, dual action sander. That'd be all up in the air. Or I'd have to use dust extraction. Dust extraction. The only thing about air sanders, they do use a lot of air. They do say they take about 6 bar, but you really need 9 to 10 minimum. Otherwise, the compressor will be constantly running. It's not a bad little sand. It costs €30 just to sand it is. From China. It's from China. The hair, where I was scraping it earlier, I judded when I was pulling it towards myself and not away from myself because I couldn't put the body weight behind it, and I judded. So there's a little bit of sanding. The other thing about an air sander, they're not as noisy. Probably sounds noisy for you because you're right near the microphone. Well, don't take much. It feels really good. So what I'll do is I'll go down to 400 maybe. 240, 20. I think I need to organise my sanding disc. Let me show you my sanding disc drawer. I need... Yeah, it usually is really organised, you see. And I usually have like the 240s all in the right place, or the 120s all in the right place. And I'll get in a bit of a hurry. Oh, I need that. Where is it? Where is it? And everything goes up everywhere. And then you end up with a mess. Just like that. Yeah, great, isn't it? I do actually like things in the right place. I'll be actually honest about it, but it doesn't always work out that way. No. Let's bring it back up here, that's so. And where's the phone? That feels quite nice now. I don't go mad on the sanding this yet because I've got to do all the edge mouldings this yet, haven't I? And I've got to sort the size out. So 277 there. What's the time anyway? Oh my gosh, it's now 8 o'clock here in France. Hello, E&M. Most sash windows we replace have sawdust covered with decades of paint. Yeah, they're rotten. I'll be a bit surprised. Yeah, just the paint holding it together. God, I come across that loads of times, especially in the corners and to the joints. Rotten out from the inside out. I remember driving through Calais for the first time off the ferry early evening. The houses' windows were shut with window shutters. Very spooky sights. Ooh. As if Adolf was on his way. No, what they do in France, if it's a hot day, you shut your shutters, keep the house cool. And a cold day, you shut the shutters, keep the house warm. You know, and also in France, if you go anywhere, like for instance, if you leave the house for 24 hours, whatever, you're supposed to have for your insurance purposes, it's a requirement to have your shutters shut, unless you pay for dispensation. Oh, dentist drill, yeah. Oh, well, dusty that time. Oh, crikey, should have done that. Like making a miniature snooker table. It's not that flat. It's not that flat. It's flat enough for what it is. It's 1855 Wales time, but it's 7:55-ish French time. Paris mean time. I was always taught sand across the grain first. Plus, if you're doing hand sanding, you see, there's no point with that because it's going round. It's going all different directions. Yes. Now, you start off with your coarser grits to level off across the grain, and then you've got to try and remove any scratches you created, basically, as you go down your grits, finishing up along the grain. It's like varnishing. My old man, he taught me how to varnish, and he used a hell of a finish. He taught me just ordinary, like yacht varnish, for instance, like shellac-based varnishes. And we used to always use 7 coats. We'd start off with a turpentine 50-50 with varnish as our first coat. And that basically it becomes your sanding sealer. We cut that back with some silicon carbide paper. Usually about 600 grit. And then we just build up our coats. And it took absolutely ages until we got around 7 coats of varnish. Now, in the summer, it's okay. It doesn't take too long to dry. But in the winter, oh my God, that's a hard to nothing. It really is. It was January. I was skiing. Oh, I was skiing. Oh, crikey, skiing, were you? Blimey. I never tried skiing. I don't think I'd want to either. I used to do a lot of rollerblading, and I was getting a bit on holiday with the missus and the kids. Oh, God, I saw that's me, I know. I got a bit carried away on the rink, and I was doing like attempting pirouettes and stuff like that, just showing off. I was a bit an idiot. And what happened was my body kind of like spun round like a crazy thing, and my legs stayed still. And I'm like, crikey, twisted all my legs, and I had a hell of a mess of myself. And I had to drive home like that. My leg was, my left leg? Yeah, my left leg was blown up like a flipping balloon, it was. And driving home like that was so painful. Anyway, I went to the hospital the Sunday morning, following Sunday morning in Norwich. I said, oh, that's all right, don't worry. They didn't have an X-ray or anything. They just looked at it, oh, it's just sprained. I think there was they call it a torsion, the fracture. That's what it felt like. And it took a flipping, that was never right, to be honest. And it took a long time to heal. And not long, I was going to my guitar lesson, and the guy's door was what you get a garage, you get a little bit of concrete, like a little ramp in front of the garage. His door was literally there, because there's this extension built on between the house and the garage. And that was his little studio. And so anyway, I was covered in blooming ice, and I got out of the studio, stepped on there, and I slipped, and it's a twist of my ankle again. And crikey, it took months, absolutely months before I could even do anything with it, you know what I mean? Oh, it's painful. And the Duke Vengeance, Fire and Shadow. What? Boiling Trouble. Or something, boiling, I don't know, in the cold, or whatever. Something like witches. Dentist drill sound effects. There we go. Right, like to that. I refuse to accept I'm old until I see the young'uns not creaking as they walk up the stairs. Until I see the young'uns not creaking, walking up the stairs. I don't know if our young'uns are going to be that fit, to be honest. They don't do anything apart from sit in front of a flipping computer, online playing computer games. Or was it just me? I'll put it there. Anyway, I think I'm as far as I want to be at the moment, I think. So let's weigh that up. Oh, that's actually pretty good. It's a little bit higher in that corner, but that doesn't, in that far corner there, it's a little bit higher there fractionally. So it's tiny, it's hardly anything. I could whip that out, to be honest. There's enough meat there. But I'm not worried. It's good enough. Besides, I've got to do the mouldings. I've got to trim it to size first. Get it to 480 square, ready to fit on the top here. Now, if you look at that one, the legs itself, you see all these little holes. Obviously, the top was just screwed on. Yeah, with some slotted screws on that. The holes are probably bigger Look at what the screws are, I think. So I would have had a little bit of movement in it, but that ain't good. That ain't really how it should be done. Now, it's not a problem. Say, for instance, the screws can be tight when you fix it to the top, here and there along the grain, because that doesn't expand and contract along the grain, you see, does it? No. It's only going to expand and contract generally across its width. So let's say, for instance, we have our two screws there, one there and one there, hold it down to the legs, to the rails on the top of the legs. But let's say, for instance, I screwed it tight here and there as well. Well, needless to say, if this expands and contract, they're going to be two fixed points. And let's say, for instance, it contracted, something's got to give. Either the screws are going to give, or your joints or the boards are going to split in between the two fixed points. Now, if it's going to take on moisture, which is also possible, what could happen is the board in the middle, or this area here, could become either convex or concave. No, convex, or the other way, concave. Basically, get warped and twisted, you see. So that ain't the best way of fixing the top with hard screws. There screws, no problem at all. But here and there, we need some movement. We need to allow for a little bit of movement. It's not a big top, so it's not going to be a massive amount of movement. And there's various ways of doing that. One is you can put, so let's say, for instance, you had your fixed screws in the middle here, right, which they didn't do, so that was fixed and that was fixed. It's funny actually that they've got these two here, singles, 1, 2, and then there's 1, 2, 1, 2. So why isn't there 1, 2, 1, 2 there as well? Did they run out of screws? But so, anyway, let's say, for instance, I fixed these two in the middle there. That's not a problem, that's fine. As long as it's along the grain. But here and here, these holes really either need to be an elongated slot. But you haven't got much width there to do it in, have you? You know, what you got there, not even, well, about 22 mil in its width there. So the other way you can do this, and there's also, you might, if you look at an old table, have a look underneath, you'll see buttons. And they're not the buttons you got on your shirt, no. They're literally little toggles. And there'll be like a slot here, there all the way along, and it will just literally just fit into that. Oh, hang on, I'll give you an idea. If you look at this end of it, this piece of wood, all right, okay, it's oversized, but if for instance that was cut down to about there, all right, and we had a hole in there, and you came to sink it, so you put a screw in it, this part here would fit into the slot. And what that'll do is that'll allow the top, if the top's fixed to this, you see that screw, allow the top to expand and contract. Yet it'll still be fixed to the actual frame. It won't lift off. And that'd be the normal way of doing it. This frame is a bit warped as well, so I've got to level the top off, which isn't difficult to do. We can do that. Anyway, I'm getting a dry throat now, even though I've got my tea here. Forgot about that. Where's my cup? Oh, crikey. So anyway, look, the other day we glued up this top using some boards that I had laying about. And we did that, if I remember, we did that using the Festool Domino Downer in two places, there and there, I believe. And then this one here I did with the biscuit joiner. Just to show you, I mean, just say the other ways you can do it. But saying that, they could have been literally just glued up, and it would have been plenty strong enough for a top this size. You don't need anything in there. The other way to do is you could actually use a router bit or even a table saw. A router bit's better because you could actually create on the edge of the board, you could create a slot on each side and have a little slip in there. That's another way of doing it. A little thin piece of wood, basically. But stop it, and that way it'd be blind on the ends. Then it doesn't go all the way through. You don't see it. Unless you want to see it, you know, you might want to. But does it look that way? It is actually pretty flat now. I'd say it's a tad high in this corner. It's just tad. I guess good enough. The fixings will hold that down. I'm going to have to. Because I'm not frigging about with it. Anyway, they're good. If it's for somebody else, I might change my mind. But being it's just for us, I might sell it, I don't know. We'll see. Don't think so, though. Right, where are we? Oh, Craig, why does it do that? That's really annoying when it does that. Get rid of that for a second and bring it back again. You have to turn the chat off and on again. Otherwise it disappears. The biscuit joiner! Yeah, I got the little DeWalt biscuit joiner, and that's how you fix something together. But it's, yeah. Oh, get the coat. Okay, wait, what? Have you done a joke? I refuse to accept that I'm old. Okay, done that one. Skiing is easy. Is it? Okay. I was definitely hurt myself if I went skiing. I'm sure of it. I used to be on the piste, but I gave it up for... Oh, okay. Well, crikey. Did you enjoy your haggis? Yeah. How long ago was that now? Oh, Burns night. Burns? Is it Burns? Oh, I'm not Scottish, so I wouldn't know. I should know. I've talked about it before. Outer square frames are what bar were made for. Do. That's a month ago, was it? Blimey. Never had haggis. I need to try it. That's the 25th January. Crikey, time flies, doesn't it? I don't know. Is it Burns? Is it Burns night or something? You all get bladdered. Right, anyway, it's time for you to go because I'm just blabbering now. I'd like to thank people who also giving us the super chats and that as well. Much appreciated, it really is. Yeah, excellent. Anyway, I suppose I'd better go inside and do some work on the computer now. Oh, boring stuff. Computer work. Don't want to do computer work. No. I like making stuff out of wood. Wood I do. Yeah, wood's good. I like my wood. There you go. Anyway, so thanks a lot for joining us today. And next, what should I do next regarding this little table? I'm dreading the idea of cleaning up the legs and that and trying to do something with them to make it like wood instead of like brown shit all over it and bits of white speckles of paint. I'm not looking forward to that. But I need to square up this top. Could even do it with a skill saw, even with a jig. Not an Irish jig, no, just a jig. And I can square that up. And we put moulding on. Do I have corners or do I round the corners? God. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a bit of research and see what a typical top would be. And then I'll make mind up whether I want to go the traditional route or whether I want to do something different. Because I'm odd. Anyway, it's time for me to go. Hang on, is that back to front? Why is that back to front? My Wallybois, is that back to front? Or is it the right way around for you? That's weird. How can I tell? Further over. I'm looking. Actually, I think it's the right way around. Is it the right way around? Oh, it's the right way around. Good. Phew. Everything's back to front for me, but for you, it's the right way around. Okay, that's good. That's a good sign. Anyway, it's time for me to go, so say toodaloo, you know. So thanks for joining us, and I'll see you next time. I don't know when it's going to be. It'll be ad hoc, probably. I will be fixing a certain day. And also, there's a few things we're doing. I'll just kind of get this out before I'm thinking about it. I'm looking at setting up a forum so we can have somewhere where we can communicate. I don't know whether to do Discord. I don't like the idea of being controlled by these big organisations such as Discord or Patreon and stuff like that. So I might see if I can put a forum, include the forum onto the website, so people can share stuff, even sell stuff, you know, if you want. It's just an idea. See if we can build it up. And also, it all seems silly promoting somebody else's platform. Doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Toodaloo. Not to the loo. Toodaloo. Okay. Can't take you anywhere. Well, there's a good time, and the battery's about to run out.